In this video, I'm going to share some advice aimed at those of you who are either retired or who are approaching retirement, because in my almost 30 years of clinical practice, I've seen countless people whose health has deteriorated rapidly after retirement, and it's upsetting to me as a healthcare professional because this could have been so easily prevented. I can't help thinking that if only those people could have been seen at the point of retirement and given some simple advice, then their health situation could have been so much better. So the idea of this video is to try and stop at least one of you from falling into this retirement trap. I'm Stephen Bunting. I'm an MSK physiotherapist. Welcome to the channel where we discuss the common MSK problems that normal everyday people experience and the evidence-based treatments that can help. So the situation I see with all too common frequency is the person who retires, often after a long and productive career, with a clear intention of enjoying a relaxed and comfortable retirement. After all, they've deserved it, right? They've put in the hard work, and now it's time for payback. It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy what they've deserved. Seems reasonable, doesn't it? But what they don't realise is that their body quickly responds to this sudden drop in activity. It doesn't understand the concept of a well-deserved retirement. It just knows that you are now less active, so those muscles won't be needed so much now. They can weaken and shrink down. Same with your joints, your bone density, and your heart and lung function. No need to waste precious resources after all. Your body will adapt to suit the level of work you give it. If you don't need a body capable of being active, then it will very quickly get the message and start to deteriorate. And so the picture I see all too often is that active person who retired 3 years ago and is now sat in my clinic with stiff and painful joints. In fact, since retirement, they've never been out of the doctors with the various aches and pains. They've put weight on, they look 10 years older, they are stooping when walking and getting out of breath just going up the stairs. Their medication list is now as long as their arm, and they don't seem to be enjoying their retirement in the way that they imagined. Because not only is their mind retired, but their body is retired as well. And this is the person who I just so wish I could have chatted to 3 years earlier, because their health and well-being could have been so much better had they made just a few simple changes to their lifestyle. That's not to say they can't be helped now. They certainly can, but it would have been so much better for them to have avoided this situation in the first place. And the people I see most commonly affected by this rapid ageing in retirement are those people who've had very active jobs. Builders, tradesmen, ground workers, landscape gardeners, etc., who retire with the idea that because they've been so physically active throughout their working lives, they've earned their more sedentary retirement. Now finally they can kick off their shoes, relax, wind down and enjoy a well-earned rest. But it's the sudden change from being very active to being very inactive that seems to cause the most striking deterioration in their health. Those people, perhaps more than any others, would benefit so much from the type of information covered in this video. And the sad truth is that less than a quarter of the retired population are as active as they should be. They are living longer, yes, but with a poorer quality of life, particularly due to degenerative joint disease, poor physical health, limited mobility, and the various aches and pains associated with ageing. So what can be done? Well, that is the question I will be trying to answer in this video, and if just one person watches it and then makes the changes necessary to maintain their health and well-being throughout their retirement, then I'll be happy. So the truth of the matter is that retirement is just a name that we have for that time in our lives when we permanently leave our paid professions. It should never mean the time in our lives when we become more sedentary. When you retire, you've got a great opportunity to swap your paid activities, which you might not enjoy and may often seem like a chore, to those activities that you do enjoy. But you have to keep yourself just as active as when you were working, and sometimes even more active if you've had a very sedentary job. And this is the key information that needs bolding and underlining, because we have to let our body know that just because we're not going to work every day, it's not time to shut down and go into old folk mode. It's time to keep active and keep going, both mentally and physically. We have to give our bodies a purpose, a reason to stay strong and capable. Because essentially, we're just stimulus response machines, and our bodies will very quickly respond to the stimulation or lack of stimulation that we give it. So we know that activity and exercise in our older years is extremely beneficial to us, but very few of us actually do it. There have been lots of studies done to try and find out why this is, and the answers are very interesting. Of course, there is the reason we've already mentioned, the idea of a well-earned rest in retirement. But one of the other main reasons is the stigma associated with exercising when older. People can often feel alienated, that exercise is not for them, or that they might not know where to start or what to do. And if you've been retired for a while and are a bit older, then you might find that people tell you that you're too old to be exercising, and that you should be taking it easy at your age. And it's often family members who might be a bit overprotective. They might think they're helping, but it's often just their way of reassuring themselves that they are caring for you, rather than encouraging you to do what might be best to maintain your health and your independence. The other obstacle commonly reported as a barrier to exercising is fear. Fear of injury, fear of falling, and fear of pain. So the much easier alternative is to do nothing. But the truth is that activity and exercise will increase your strength, improve your balance and mobility, and generally reduce your aches and pains, therefore making it much less likely in the long term that you will be injured, fall, or cause pain. Of course, there's always a risk of injury with all activities, but much more so when your body is frail and weak. So getting fitter will help your confidence and rid you of the fear that might be holding you back. Cost is another reported barrier to getting active. But a brisk walk around the park costs nothing and is usually within easy reach of public transport. And as we will see later, there are many things that you can do for free in your own house. Also, seemingly trivial things like access to a toilet can be a real barrier for some people who want to get fitter, but with a bit of research and forward planning, all these anxieties can often be overcome. Another obstacle that people report making it difficult to exercise regularly are their caring responsibilities, either looking after grandchildren or elderly parents, but again, this can often be overcome with a bit of planning. And after all, what grandchild doesn't want to go and play in the park with their grandparents? So, what kind of activities and exercise should we be doing in retirement? Well, this is entirely up to you. The choices are almost endless, and so you're going to need to choose something that you enjoy, or you will find excuses to back out, because this is going to be a lifestyle change. The current guidelines suggest that in retirement you should be doing about 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week, which works out at about half an hour a day for 5 days of the week, or about 40 minutes daily for 4 days of the week. And that can be a brisk walk, and that doesn't just mean a gentle stroll around the shops, it means a quick, purposeful walk which gets you a little out of breath. Or depending on your fitness, it could be jogging, cycling, swimming, hiking, Nordic walking, playing tennis, golf, tai chi, gardening, or doing some simple aerobic exercises in the gym or at home. The guidelines also advise doing 2 short sessions of strengthening exercises every week. And this doesn't have to mean exercising with weights in the gym. It could mean just doing some simple body weight exercises, such as sit to stand, small squats, or stepping. I'm going to do a separate video showing some simple aerobic and strengthening exercises that anyone can do at home with no equipment. And when it's done, I'll link to it up here, and I'll pop a link in the description below. The other thing to mention when starting a new activity is to try and do it within a network of friends as much as you can. You might be somebody who has the confidence and strength of will to start a new activity or exercise program by yourself and stick to it, but for most of us, doing it with a partner, a friend, or a small group is much better and will help ensure that you stick at it for the long term. You might also want to consider joining a group of similar-minded people, like in a walking group or a rambling club or a fitness group or a gym class designed for your age group and abilities. In the UK, walking, football and basketball have become very popular for some people who still enjoy the competitive side of exercise, and I'm sure there must be similar walking sports in your local area. And rest assured that whatever you choose, there will be so many people out there who feel exactly the same way as you do and who are also not sure what to do and where to start. So whatever age you are, you won't be alone. There are also many online resources to help people stay active in their older life. In the UK, SilverFit is a fantastic resource full of great ideas, and it links to local fitness and activity groups. I'll put a link in the description to SilverFit and some other online resources from other countries, but do have a look around yourself, as it's an evolving area of healthcare with new sites popping up all the time. The Couch to 5K programme is another great resource for people who want to start running for the very first time, but want to do it in a guided way to help progress at a sensible rate and avoid injury. It can be accessed online or by downloading the app. And there's also a whole suite of apps to help the over 50s start to exercise at home in a slow and steady manner. Just type elderly exercise into the App Store or Google Play. I also want to quickly mention diet, because if you've had a very active job, then you might have needed a very calorie-rich diet to help fuel you throughout the day. After retirement though, if your activity levels drop, but you continue to eat the same things as when you were working, then you're very quickly going to pile the weight on. So it's important to adjust your diet to suit your activity level. So the take-home message is that it's very easy to become a couch potato after retiring. A marked reduction in your activity levels after retirement can cause many healthcare problems centred around physical deconditioning, weight gain and an accelerated ageing process. But the good news is that regular activity and exercise can reverse these processes and counteract the effect of ageing. And in turn, this can dramatically improve your health and well-being and give you a much better quality of life well into your older age. Okay, well that's about it. I do hope you found the video helpful and that it encourages at least one of you to think more about the importance of keeping active throughout your retirement. So stay healthy, thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.